Life in Saigon had a number of different things attached to it. The food was one, of course, but money was the second, and money was the fuel for the economy. The Vietnamese official rate on their piastres, as they called it, the money, was 73 piastres per dollar. And this, of course, rate would not be very conducive to your wallet it being full. So there emerged a black market, and this varied from time to time. But rather than $73 or 73 piastres per dollar, it mushroomed up to 150 piastres per dollar. Now this was not a legal rate. So once the military got in there and this rate emerged, the American military decided they could counteract this by issuing MPC, which was military payment certificates, in lieu of US dollars, so that the GIs did not have American green dollars in their pocket to convert illegally to the new rate. Well, the MPC arrived on the scene and promptly became a second black market. There, again, if you took your check down to Ahmed, the friendly money changer, he would change a US check for $100 and give you $150 or $40, depending on the day's rate, in MPC. Well, now, this made for a lot of nefarious operations, smuggling US green dollars in on checks and everything else. And actually, I did take advantage of it because you could use MPC in the PX, which occasionally we were able to use. And also, Ford Motor Company had a desk there where you could buy a new car in Vientiane or in Saigon, Vietnam, with MPC. Well, this meant you got a 50% discount on the asking price of the car, and you could end up with a nice Ford Mustang convertible candy apple red, which I picked up in San Francisco and drove it as far as Detroit and sold it after the leave was over, and ended up with some more pocket change and back to Vietnam. This nefarious activity, of course, was illegal, and a few got caught trying to make a little extra money via this method. But when I transferred up to Vientiane, Laos, that all disappeared. You could use American dollars. The exchange rate for the piastres in Vientiane was stable, or they're not piastres but called kip, and it was 500 kip per dollar. So there again, you could run around with a whole pocket full of kip, and they didn't have to worry about it devaluating or anything else. Or you could use US dollars. That was no problem. And even some establishments would take checks. Now, checks were a dangerous thing there. If you had larceny in your soul, you could pass these checks, and it would take about 30 days for them to go through the clearinghouses and eventually come back into the receiver's account. And this did happen. We had one fellow that came out of Saigon, and he'd been selling insurance company policies there. He had nice printed up forms from an insurance company, but he wasn't licensed by them. But he was offering GIs cheap insurance. And if they wanted to pay for this later, he would only take a pittance down on this. And he would waive the war clause on them so that they would be fully insured in case something bad happened to them in combat. Well, eventually they found out this guy was a scam artist, and he had to escape to Thailand. Well, he started this same scam there on the Thais and also some of the American military that was based in Thailand. this all came crumbling down quite rapidly. So he got on the train and came up to Laos. Once in Laos, he was cornered, and his writing checks to the money changers did not work. And one day he was found in his hotel room with his both wrists slashed and 2 puddles of blood up against the wall. Well, I think he had a little help from one of the money changers that felt bad about this whole operation and wanted to do something bad to him. But Laos was very stable as far as the money goes, and that was refreshing. Thank you.